beautiful people. Welcome to another exciting week. This is your #1 feel-good breakfast show.
Now, if you are unmotivated, which can happen a lot of Mondays, and reluctant to do anything, perhaps you want a few more days, weekend, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But it's Monday.
Yeah.
So we need to remind you of that.
This indeed is the right show for you. We've come here really early to give you the required boost to start your Monday, the new week, and maybe help you find a fresh perspective.
Yes, indeed. Of course, welcome to another 3 hours of absolute entertainment with your friendly anchors. My name is Yomi.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Thank you so much for joining us. Mwah! We today have a beautiful and interesting lineup as always, and we know you're going to love it.
Now, remember, right now we are online, so if you need to get to work or whatever else you do, tvcentertainment.tv is the website. Yeah. And check us out also on Facebook at TVC Connect.
You can always send in those comments. We love to hear from you every single day. Just make sure you use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And also, you can download our app both on the Android and iOS stores, and the app lets you watch us anywhere you are in the world. Yeah. And it's also great that we're on YouTube.
Now, the YouTube channel is where a lot of people go to get their extra boost after the show is over. They go to remind themselves all the great stuff we did. You could just visit TVC Entertainment on YouTube and click the notifications button so you can get alerts whenever we have a new post.
I think we should start making, the short kitchen clips.
Yeah.
Maybe make like videos out of them and start selling them.
Selling them, really?
Yeah. So if you want to watch how to make egusi soup, you pay 1,000 naira. You click.
Wow.
Send you a password. You open it, and that's it.
It remains to be seen. We'll see.
Business. Some business ideas there.
One thing I can say is that a lot of people learn a lot of things on YouTube, and our YouTube channel is a great place to learn a lot of different things. Everything from fashion to food, travel, everything's there.
Yeah.
So,
now on Fridays, just remind our guys on Fridays that we are on Instagram, IG Live at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah.
It's always very exciting. Very nice.
It's called Wake Up Nigeria Extra, and we always have interesting personalities that we have conversations with. Long conversations, but very interesting ones as well. Speaking of interesting conversations, Chude Judonwo has some words of motivation for us this morning on Daily Vulnerables.
Because we're learning more about power dynamics, we have people who pretend to have no personal power anymore. People who enter into a contract or take a job or stay in a situation that they shouldn't have because they wanted an advantage.
And then we move on to tech, where we get to see the latest innovations and improvements in that world. Looking forward to what Mike's got for us on that front. And of course, Mondays are for motivation. And we're going to be joined by someone this morning, Samson Olatunde, and he's going to be looking at this topic. Are you competing or collaborating in this new normal?
Very good question. And we love to interact with you, so why not join us on our social media platforms? Let's find out how you spent the weekend and what the plans for the rest of the week are. There's always something interesting to talk about on social media. We'll have a topic for you.
Quite interesting, yeah.
Soon enough.
Now, of course, if you are a budding entrepreneur, we've got something for you as well. Oluwatobi Ali is back with us this morning. Talk about sharing business skills for the post-COVID era. And you don't want to miss this one today.
It's just, there's so much. There's so much to learn. And then we'll be joined by actor, model, photographer, and reality TV star, Toby Bakre. We're going to be having an interesting conversation with this guy who, some of his pictures, his feet are not on the ground. I don't know how he does it.
Floating in the air.
I don't know, he's always floating in the air in his pictures. I don't know. But it's going to be great to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Monday.
Yes.
Man.
Goodness me. It feels like the weeks are just all rolling into one. So we're at the end of June like this.
Yeah. You know what I noticed? A lot of the states have opened up places of worship.
Okay.
So when I talk to someone maybe like in Port Harcourt or I talk to someone in Abuja, well, how was church today? I'm like, okay, like he just never really.
He doesn't connect.
Yeah, it doesn't click.
Yeah. State still, not yet ready for opening and all that. Yeah, some states, but they have restrictions like, okay, so maybe not more than 20 or 50 or so and all of that. So yeah, it's kind of strange where Lagos. And then sometimes I'm wondering, okay, can I travel to some places? Like some places are open.
Yeah.
So some borders, some states have loosened border restrictions, so you can go between a few states. I think from this week they're going to start doing test flights to different locations locally and all of that. But Lagos and Ogun State still under lockdown, close monitoring because of the high incidences of
Someone was asking that if flights internationally are open, would you just want to just fly somewhere immediately?
I actually don't think so.
There's some people like, no matter what, I will just go. I want to.
I feel you on that, but the nerves, because, you know, airplane cabins, once first of all, they're pressurized.
Yeah.
Right? They're basically recycling the air.
Same area, yeah.
That's one. Two, those seats are so close. Even with one space in the middle, it does feel kind of close. You know? That means you would never want to go to the bathroom. You would never want to touch the aisle. You'd never want to touch anything.
No, but
okay, so what they did with the EPL. So what happens is that when they have water breaks, right? You see people who would fumigate or sanitize the goal posts and everything.
Okay.
So they'll come and, they just go over everything again. Apart from the fact that everybody on that pitch was tested the day before.
Yeah.
So that one, first of all, you know that everybody there was tested the day before, has been tested like 3, 4, 5, 6, for now, maybe each of them. They get tested twice a week.
Yeah.
So they have been tested at least for the past 3 weeks now, they've been tested like 6 times. And they've not returned a positive result. So you're almost very sure that nobody there has it. But then there's extra caution, So you'll probably get to a time, maybe like yellow fever, someone will tell you that, okay, bring your recent test results to fly.
Exactly. So what happened? What's going on at the Nigerian airports now, which is also very good, is that they put some restrictions in place for people moving around, the number of people that can be around at a time. If you're going on a local flight, you arrive 3 hours before, so they can do those various checks, temperature checks and all of that.
3 hours, man.
Yes,
you have to, and then in the plane as well, within the plane as well, the usual, wearing of masks, fumigation of the knobs and all of that. So
I think it was the US.
I'm thinking, so for those really long flights, you're going to wear the mask the whole flight? For those flights are like 7, 8, 10 hours.
You have to.
Goodness.
So there was this flight. I can't remember which exact one now. But in the US, issues have happened where people had to turn people down, like go down. If you're not going, there was one guy that said, no, they banned the guy. Apart from, taking him down from the flight, he was banned for I don't know if it was a life ban or something. But for a very like you're not going to fly this airline.
That risk. That's the issue. So because look, the truth is, if people feel I feel just fine and all of that. You don't know if you're a carrier of the disease.
Can be asymptomatic.
You understand what I'm saying? And then you get on a plane where there are 150 other people. You don't know what conditions they have.
They have, exactly.
Asthma, maybe they've had, a history of, really bad respiratory illnesses and all of that.
Exactly.
And then just one little cough from you.
Exactly.
That is healthy.
Exactly.
Puts them, their life just ends. So you really don't want to take such risks. It's really important.
Hopefully, nobody will try anything like that. But I think it's about time for us to have the news update.
Yeah, and I'm going to be putting my hat to the side right now. And the remains of the former governor of Oyo State, Senator Abiola Ajimobi, has been committed to Mother Earth at his Oluyole residence in Ibadan. The sad event was held under tight security, with family members, political associates, and well-wishers in attendance. Those present at the somber event poured encomiums on the late political leader who died on the 25th of June. Correspondent Ademola Lawrence reports.
Dignitaries from far and near converged on the Oluyole residence of former governor of Oyo State, Senator Abiola Ajimobi, to bid their leader farewell. Security at the event was bottle-tied as only few invited guests were allowed access into the funeral. Newsmen were also barred from covering the event. Prominent Nigerians who spoke about the late senator described him as an accomplished Nigerian will change the political dynamics of Oyo State.
It was one governor that woke Oyo State up from the lethargy of underdevelopment. We saw 8 years of transformational leadership under his stewardship. He laid the foundational structures necessary for a modern state.
Will surely be missed, and I know the political system in Nigeria has lost a figure, a colossus, somebody that commands respect, and has the core values of a good leader.
The governorship candidates of the All Progressive Congress in the 2019 election described the death of Ajimobi as a monumental loss to the state and indeed the nation at large.
Contribution to Oyo State development is quite visible in almost every sector of our economy, from security to environment to education to the health sector to commerce to transportation to road infrastructure. The 8 years he spent governing Oyo State was known for a lot of development strides, and no other governor has ever matched him, I can say that.
Islamic prayer sessions were also later held for the former senator at Isiaq Abiola Ajimobi Central Mosque, where Nigerians from all walks of life had converged to pray for the repose of the soul of the late state executive.
A great son of Southwest is gone, an illustrious Ibadan man, and a detribalized Nigerian. Is a man with a huge sense of humor. You will never be bored when you are next to him. He has a very huge sense of humor. He's a good man, and we just pray that God will grant his soul eternal rest.
Title Kusheleri Apple, just because of his contribution, the way he handled governance in Oyo State, the kind of development he introduced in Oyo State, and I think that was what fetched him Kusheleri, and that was the first time such thing will happen. And since he had left the governance, and he has also been contributing, as a political figure, further in the state, to the development of the state, giving advice where necessary.
Former Governor Abiola Ajimobi passed on at the age of 70. He was said to have succumbed to the death following the complications associated with COVID-19. His death came as a rude shock to many of his followers at a time when reconciliatory efforts were into gear in Oyo State, even as the party strives to be on the right footing ahead of the future elections.
With prayers rendered by family, friends, and political associates, many here believed that the man fondly called Kusheleri will forever be remembered as a transformer in the history of Oyo State. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Ibadan.
On Tuesday, the Independent National Electoral Commission expressed concern about the smooth conduct of primaries and elections in the country. The electoral body said the process could be disrupted by pre-election litigations and the conflicting orders emanating from different courts. It restates its commitment to obeying all orders and judgments from properly constituted courts in accordance with the law. INEC said the conduct of the party primaries, including resolution of disputes, will end on the 27th of June, with the submission of the list of candidates will close on the 29th of June. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has come out to strongly support the viewpoint of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu on the need to save the governing of the All Progressives Congress from self-destruction. In a statement signed by the president's senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president condemned what he calls political vulturism, masquerading as smart analysis and selling the commentary that this is a Buhari-Tinubu showdown. The statement says nothing can be farther from the truth, as Mr. President and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu are in touch with one another. Their relationship remains strong as ever, and between the two of them, only they know they can manage their enviable relationship. It also added that to put the record straight in the formation of the APC and giving its leadership, President Buhari and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who are reckoned as the founding fathers of the APC, are both inspired by democratic norms, national interest, and not at all by partisan motivations. These are the qualities that have made them move past cynical distractions. Well, that's it on the news updates for this hour. Let's take a quick break and return with sports news with Mike. We're going to be doing these headlines online for now, until the papers arrive. Today is Monday, June 29th. And Titi?
I have the Punch headlines here, and it says, we killed 12 Zamfara bandits, arrested informants, according to the DHQ. It says here, Clark backs Dixon's senatorial bid. Ekiti Assembly denies colluding with Ojudu against Fayemi. On 2023, stop APC from destroying Nigeria, says Wike. INEC lists tough conditions for campaign rallies in Edo, Ondo. And family alleges foul play in Unizik provost's death. Fraudster impersonating art director, says CBN. Why we must heed IMF, World Bank warnings. And Lagos pays 93 million naira death insurance claims. Let me see if I can wrap with this one. No entry for Nigerians, Americans into Europe. And that's what I have on the cover of the Punch.
Wow. No entry for Nigerians and Americans. Well, all right, let's check out a few newspaper headlines here. We have the Vanguard. 2023, at no time did I say Igbo will never be president, says Yerima there. And still on newspaper headlines, Daily Trust this morning. APC denies suspending Hilliard Etta, says no factions in Imo. And there's a story here on the cover of The Guardian. Are your government unfair to my late husband, says Florence Ajimobi, the former First Lady of Oyo State there. And an online newspaper, The Cable, Sheyi Makinde, we broke the law to allow Ajimobi's burial in GRA. That's an online newspaper there, The Cable. And we've got This Day. We've got This Day where Ari Boshola is making a comment. We lost another gem, laments Ari Boshola. That's the Minister of Interior there. And these are the stories that I have here with me. I don't know if you've got any other papers.
Yeah, I have some headlines from the Nation newspaper, updated about an hour ago. And it says here, federal government airlifts 314 Nigerians stranded from London. Ijaw need tested men in Senate, says Clark. Power consumers, man kick over 100% tariff hike. Ohaneze raises alarm as splinter group emerges. Celebrating Fashola at 57, the BRF way. That's an article you can find in the Nation newspaper. Petrol price fully deregulated, it says. And virus pandemic will lead to better business ethics. That's an article you can also find in the Nation. Increase in tariff will push up costs and depress productivity. And how we prevented sea importation of the virus. I'll wrap with this one. It says investors net 1.58 trillion naira gains in virtual deal amid COVID-19. That's what I have on the cover of the Nation.
All right, let's. The papers have finally arrived here. Okay. So I've got the Punch in my hand and then a few other papers here. Looking at the Punch this Monday, June 29th, APC caretaker panel meets today to set up convention committees and apologize to Nigerians for holding NEC meeting in Federal Exco Council chamber. And you can't dictate to Buhari where to hold meetings. Presidency replies, PDP, others. And let's look at a few other stories here. Aviation, Onyema seeks bailout, says airlines airfares will rise. And here, Wadume Balarabe's troops tortured me until I fainted, says survivor. And no going back on petrol price control, PPPRA insists. The 13 vessels coming from five COVID-19 endemic nations, says Nimasa. And down here, Ajimobi's wife berates Makinde, ex-Oyo governor, Baird. And INEC lists tough conditions for campaign rallies in Edo, Ondo. And I think that's all we can take on the cover of The Punch.
Okay, yeah, I did take the Nation newspaper cover earlier online, but just so you can see exactly the same headlines pop up, but with some added factors here. It says a new electricity price regime takes effect from Wednesday. And it says here the increase in electricity tariff is coming at a time that the Nigerian electricity supply industry is pervaded with high level of inefficiency, low investment in strategic electricity infrastructure. Then also here, I have the global COVID-19 cases. It says here, all around the world, 10,192,727 cases of COVID-19 have been recorded, with 503,122 deaths. And of course, the COVID-19 cases in Nigeria have risen from last week. Now it's at 24,567 cases, with so far 565 deaths. That's what we have on the cover of the Nation newspaper.
All right, let's see if we can squeeze in the Daily Sun. COVID-19 will make 96 million Nigerians extremely poor by 2022, says the World Bank. And Buhari faces lawsuit over 22.7 billion naira dollar loan. Wow. And Ajimobi's widow slams Makinde deputy for lack of empathy. And you refuse to pick your calls, says Deputy Governor. And ex-Oyo Governor Baird. Governors, others pay tribute. And we can see a photo story on the cover of the Daily Sun this morning. Governors Abdullahi Ganduje, Kaide Fayemi, and others paying a condolence visit to Mrs. Florence Ajimobi. And this was yesterday in Ibadan. That's it on the Daily Sun.
Yeah, and that's how we wrap it up on papers for this hour. We'll be taking them again in the second hour, but we have to take a quick break. There's much more to come on Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back. Now, the rains are here. You have to be extremely careful on how you manage your movements. Make sure you carry, something to protect your hair or your head from the rain, maybe an umbrella, even a raincoat, whatever it is. Make sure you take care on the roads while driving, because some of those potholes might not be where they used to be. They might have extended, if you know what I mean. But we hope to get you to your destination safe and sound, and that's why we give you the Lagos traffic update. Today, I'm starting with the route from Bega bus stop all the way to Bonny Camp in Victoria Island. It's a well-plowed route, and presently, it doesn't look like there's much traffic on this particular road. All the way from Bega, you won't hit much traffic until after you pass Ojota and head through the Ogudu bypass. That's just before Third Mainland Bridge. It slows down just a little. But once you get towards the Oworo area, it frees up. And then all the way all over Third Mainland, it seems to be very, very free. The traffic begins at the Ebute Metta exit, and it seems to go all the way down till you get to the Dolphin Estate area. That's along Ring Road area, just off Third Mainland Bridge. So it's slow, but it's not at a standstill. We're moving as quickly as possible now past there. If, for instance, you're going to Victoria Island, you'll have just a 30-minute journey coming from Bega bus stop. Now, I'm wondering if there's any updates online about any traffic or any particular in any particular area from the guys in the kitchen?
Yeah, a few updates here, but mostly around Ikorodu area. I'm not really sure what's happening, but lots of people complaining about the Agric area in Ikorodu, and apparently the traffic has been on for a while, for about 50 minutes now. So that was even before 6 a.m. this morning already. There was traffic there. So in fact, somebody said just 5 a.m., but traffic at Ikorodu is unbelievable. Ikorodu garage to Agric is blocked completely. Whoa. So there must be some kind of impediment there, because it's usually, I mean, there's traffic there usually, but not this bad at, you know, yeah. So it's blocked completely, and that was about 5 a.m. and that whole stretch.
Let's go back home.
That whole stretch is blocked. So that's really causing some major issues here. But once you come out of that area, it looks like it's free. Most people saying that it's not too shabby. So on the major highways, it's not bad. But you know, coming out the feeder roads and all of that, it looks quite bad. That's what people are saying online.
Okay.
Right now.
All right, let's see what it looks like on the island side of things. Now, if you're coming all the way from Aja and you're heading all the way to Victoria Island, you have about between the 33-minute to 49-minute journey ahead of you. Now, this depends on which route you decide to take. If you decide to stay on the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, you'll have a 33-minute journey. But if you should decide to take one of the alternative routes, you're going to be adding more time to your journey this morning. So just stay on the main carriageways, and slowly but surely you will get to Victoria Island in one piece. I'm going to be heading into the kitchen now. That's the end of the traffic update.
Yeah. So it looks like Burna Boy finally got his...
the African giant.
The African giant. So for that, it's actually, you know, I was checking out a few things over the weekend, even before this BET Awards and everything. The African Giant album is actually one of the biggest albums out of Africa this year, yes, with streaming numbers, even popularity.
It's the biggest. By streams, he's the #1 artist when it comes to. And I still remember here how when he released that single, the one that had, that was just about the same time when Kanye West released his album, how that played out, you know, because it made so much, there was so much of a buzz for the song outside Nigeria, in the US. Kanye had just released that album, So when people go on Apple Music or whatever, the streams and search for and then they're like, okay, it came up and then some people downloaded it, let's check it. He had to even come out and say, oh, look, man, Kanye West, I know that. I've seen some downloads and all that. Thank you. You know, that was how, I think that's the most humble anybody has ever seen the African giant. He doesn't, because he has said that a number of times that, look, nobody paved the way for me. I am there because of me. So that was the only time that we know on our record that he said that he gave somebody some credit for doing something for him, you know. So that worked out in his favor, and since then he has not looked back.
And it's good. There was a video of his acceptance. I'm not sure if we have that yet, but he did a short acceptance.
It was really interesting, and because of the whole Black Lives Matter thing, he did say, for Black lives to matter, Africa has to matter, you know, and it's very, very key. You know, a lot of, sometimes you watch all these documentaries about how they talk about the history of Africa and how great Africa is, but it's still from an American perspective. Sometimes I feel like they just need to come and stay here for like maybe 6 months. I like come and live here and then get a real sense of what Africa is all about.
I do like, I mean, for those who want to watch the video, you can see it on the BET Twitter handle. That's the short, so just about an hour, and a minute and 34 seconds. So I wanted to say that even BET has sort of evolved over time. You know, there is this, we've talked about this on this show before, there is this issue between Black Americans or African Americans and Africans. You know, a little bit of racism there as well. So, and that was reflected even in the BET Awards, where an African act wins an award, then they take you to another stage to go and you can't address the main. And I like the way I like the way Ice Prince, Wizkid, and these guys responded. Like, look, we collected. We did your alternative stage last year. We did your alternative stage the year before, but not this year. Like, we're not gonna, you know.
It seems we have the acceptance speech right now, and you probably see it on your screens in a few seconds. That was it.
Okay, there it is.
Time around 1835, there was a mission to turn Africa, the nation of Africa, into a dominated nation. Now is the time to overturn that and go back to the royalty that we were, because in order for Black lives to matter, Africa must matter. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay, so I take a little exception when because, yes, I feel like a lot that's happened in Africa, right, has been our fault.
I agree.
Has been our fault. You see, Black Lives Matter and Africa Matter, I don't think that. You see, because someone said, for somebody who has lived here probably for your whole life and just gone there to visit you, you might not really understand the concept of why some people would over a month and maybe 2 months plus continue fighting for something. Yeah. Over here, I mean, you won't see me and say, hey, you understand?
Exactly.
We have what we call, we have here what we call, where we see foreigners, where we even treat them with a little bit of high regard and all of that, even here. So we don't understand, right? For somebody whose denizen is Africa, who has been here his whole life, you will not fully understand the concept of Black Lives Matter, except you've been somewhere where somebody has had to discriminate against you because of your skin color.
It's very true, unless you've lived in that
scenario.
Because look, the truth is, if you were born a Black American, and maybe you were with maybe poor or average parents, you lived in a certain kind of neighborhood, it's ingrained in your system and in your mind. So by the time you're 10 years old, you know you're Black. You know you're different. You know you're Black, you know you're different, you know that you're treated differently. You walk into a store, the security guy is following you around.
They're looking at you somehow.
Do you understand? I mean, go to Ikeja City Mall, anywhere, you're you. Exactly. You can be you. You're Nigerian.
Because you're in Africa,
You understand? But outside, they're going to be treating you with a little bit of, is he going to steal the Nike shoes? Is he going
Exactly.
Goodness.
It's horrible. It's a horrible,
when you see them,
situation.
so a lot of us here have said, 2 months. It's too, haven't they? It's not about George Floyd. George Floyd seemed like a tipping point. It was like,
exactly.
That broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
It was just a final straw. It's been a lot. I mean, it's now being documented. It's now being videoed. But man, those guys have been going through a lot. So, but then it's now sad when we now have the issue of Black Americans now doing Africa. Like, say, come, most of you they carry you from here.
So how did you feel about Naomi Campbell giving Burna Boy the award, announcing him? I don't know. I felt like I wasn't so sure if it was the right fit for me. I don't know.
I like Naomi Campbell because she loves Africa. She comes here a lot. In fact, I think she particularly likes Nigeria. I don't know. There's something about us. She keeps coming here.
If you say you love Africa, you don't love Nigeria, man. It's not Africa you love.
Last year she came she came here like 3 times. This year she's been here already. Once in January, I think.
That's the one you know.
True.
Exactly.
Yes, now. You'll be surprised that Rihanna has entered Nigeria like 5 times this year already.
What are you getting at, Mike?
Of course.
Of course.
Joe goes for weddings and stuff.
You just throw for one wedding in Ajimobi or somewhere, and you just see Rihanna performing there. No cameras. Don't try Niger. Don't try us.
Dear me.
So, I like what you said about...
What was that?
Yeah.
I think we have something else that we were going to show, the speech now.
Which one?
Yeah.
How music made me feel. It made me feel so many different emotions. It made me feel sad, it made me feel happy, and it just made me dream. I'm so very proud tonight to recognize some of the brightest new artists from around the world. Here are the numbers.
Yeah.
And that was it.
So of course she then did the nominees and then
announced Burna Boy.
By the way, Wizkid also picked his award for Brown Skin Girl, BET award.
Yeah.
Brown Skin Girl, superb.
Brown Skin Girl is such a great song. But there's a long list of people that are on the song, and Blue Ivy must be there first.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Blue Ivy, Beyonce, St. John, and Wizkid. They're the 4 credited with the song. So she's picked up a BET award.
Really, very nice. So well done to everyone who's won an award. Look, hard work pays eventually. Sometimes it takes a while. but eventually it'll pay off. And here's a note to Black Americans. Those of you thinking about coming home, we have land to sell. We'll give you some forests in Oyo State.
Come home and be free.
You know?
Honestly, come home and feel free.
That's home for them. So they don't
Okay,
know.
so when I say come home, you know what I mean by come home.
Yeah, especially if you are blacker than black.
Come and invest in this land. The land is green. We'll be back after a quick break. There's still quite a bit to show you right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Disease of powerlessness going around. You know, because we're learning more about power dynamics, we have people who pretend to have no personal power anymore. People who enter into a contract or take a job or stay in a situation that they shouldn't have because they wanted an advantage. They do it willingly, consciously, mindfully, and then they say, oh, the person had more power than me. Yes, till I die, there will always be people who have more power than others. The fact that the person has more power than you doesn't mean that you have no power at all. You have the power to say no many times, because to stay in our place of personal power sometimes means taking action that will lead to consequence that we don't like. Now, that is where the problem is. We don't want the consequence of doing the right thing.
Let's take a look at updates in the tech world. It's Monday morning. Now, Facebook announced last week that it will introduce a notification screen. Of course, they've been making improvements on the app, things to make the site better. Mark Zuckerberg, of course, has been under attack for not keeping to policies when it comes to hate speech or advertising in politics. But hey, they announced that they would introduce a notification screen warning users if they try to share content that's more than 90 days old. Now, they'll be given a choice to go back or to click through if they'd still like to share the story, knowing that it isn't fresh. Now, Facebook acknowledged that old stories shared out of their original context play a role in spreading misinformation. Now, the social media company said news publishers in particular have expressed concern about old stories being recirculated as though they are breaking news. Now, over the past several months, our internal research found that the timelines of an article is an important piece of context that helps people decide what to read, trust, and share. Facebook Vice President of Feed and Stories, John Hegman, wrote on the company's blog. So that's it. Now, the point, we've had quite a number of issues. Now, something happens and then you see an old picture, or you see a picture and someone says, okay, this just happened, maybe Zamfara State or somewhere, there's been a carnage or something there. And most of the time, these are old pictures that people bring back to the timeline. Now, what happens is that Facebook will notify you to probably do an image search, and there's an algorithm to check for that and tell you that, look, this picture is not recent. And if it's more than 3 months old, they'll let you know that, look, hey, this thing is older than this particular point in time. Sometimes we even bring back pictures that are years, 3, 4, 5 years back. Now, Facebook will do their best via their new updates on the app to let you know that such a picture is old. Right? Now, moving on from Facebook to Apple. Now, after closing stores across 4 states, now this was no doubt a bit of an inevitable gesture. Now, following reporting earlier last week, Apple have confirmed that they will shut down an additional 14 stores in Florida, joining the 2 that they closed last week. Now, of course, this is due to COVID-19. Now, the company sent a statement to TechCrunch that is essentially identical to the one it gave the last time. It says, due to current COVID-19 conditions in some of the communities we serve, we are temporarily closing stores in these areas. We take this step with an abundance of caution as we closely monitor the situation, and we look forward to having our teams and customers back as soon as possible. This, of course, is as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is hitting different states in different measures, and of course Florida having to shut down 14 stores. Apple, of course, have taken a little bit of a hit, as have many other companies. But hey, come on, the main thing here is about being safe. If you're going to go to the stores and all of that, or if you're going to go out, if you're in a place where stores are not closed, ensure you go out with your face mask. And of course, if you have a personal sanitizer, you should always wash your hands as often as possible. You can't be too careful.
Okay, now airs that give delight, propel us
into a new day. It is bright.
Okay. So now normally a number of people, when they want to diagnose their cars, we take it probably to the service center and they do a diagnosis. Now most of these cars, as you saw in the video, like the Cadillac comes with self-diagnosis, so you wouldn't need to put in anything. You get into the car. I don't know if you remember seeing this movie. I think it was Captain America, Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen, Titi, I don't know if you've seen that movie. You definitely have seen that movie.
Of course.
You remember the car, Agent Fury's car, played by Samuel Jackson? Mm-hmm. You remember that car? The car that had everything. So,
oh yeah,
where the one where the Winter Soldier had to take him down, the one that had it was giving him information and all that, and had auto. Now what would they do? What I wanted to point out was that the car, of course, had auto drive, autopilot. So it gets to a point whereby you can get into autopilot. It has self-diagnostic. It will check the car every time. So if you enter, it will tell you at every time what could go wrong. Yeah. Those are cars that are available now, man.
And look, even with cars, recent cars, your regular Toyotas and the rest of them, they already have some kind of self-diagnostic ish. So there are some, if your tire pressure is less, it will show you what tire it is. There are some, if there's something wrong with...
so there's digital dashboards that basically write out everything that's happening with the car, how much fuel is there.
Not the whole 9 yards, but now it looks like even more of that with AI. With AI infused in it, even little engine issues, it can, trigger
what
them
happens
for you
now?
as
What
well.
happens? What happens now is that you have the car interacting with you in real time. So it tells you, hey, this is this. Do you want to go on with this? Do you think you can go on? I don't. It starts giving you recommendations.
Wow.
I don't think you should go with this because this is not and that. So you'll be discussing with the car.
Well, you know that, Mike. You know that in Nigeria, even if a part of your car is bad, you can still drive it for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So that's the thing now.
So you just
you
tell
won't be
me.
able to do that.
So
The car will refuse.
Imagine you have that. Imagine you have that Cadillac. And the Cadillac says, "Hello, sir. Your tire pressure is too low."
Say, Baba,
The
keep
crank
quiet.
wheel is up. I say, "Oh, Benny, you are my car. You must drive." And the car says, "No, sir. We cannot move." And they say, "Are you okay? Are you normal?"
You take a knife and cut the wire.
I'm telling you.
The connection.
Oh
Just cut it off. Yeah.
All right, but hey, come on.
Before you know it, they'll even be doing diagnostic on your own health self in the car. You are not healthy enough to drive. Come on, it's just malaria. It's just malaria. I can still get to Yaba.
All right.
Anyhow.
Okay, so let us know that these things it go take before you reach here because we drag with them. That's all we can take on tech this morning. We'll take a short break. The second lap of the show resumes after.
All right, now it's important to only subscribe to Positive Thoughts on Mondays because it kind of sets the tone for the rest of your week.
Yes, it does. And that's why we come early with a show specially prepared to lift your mood.
Yeah.
And
Now-
give you that
Yeah.
extra boost and motivation that you need and activate a world of endless possibilities.
Welcome to the second hour of the show. Now, hopefully you enjoyed the first hour, but even if you weren't here to watch it, it only gets better every single minute.
Yeah, we remain your #1 stop for family entertainment. Now, this is the breakfast show that everybody wants to watch, and it's Wake Up Nigeria.
Remember, as you go about your day, keep all the necessary hygiene standards at their highest. Please wash your hands as much as possible, carry around an alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and make sure you wear your face mask in public. Please maintain a healthy lifestyle, people, please.
Yeah, now you owe it to yourself and your loved ones to stay healthy. So, look, practicing a healthy lifestyle is important. Looking out for others is also important. That you are healthy doesn't mean that somebody else is. So, always try to make sure that you keep those the rules. They've now become habits. So you just wash your hands normally, wear a face mask, keep away from other people. No hugs and kisses yet. No handshaking. Just for now. For now.
Goodness me, I wonder when we will get back to all the former ways. But for now, let's keep healthy. My name is Titilayo Onyison.
And I'm Yomi Owope.
We're streaming this show live as we speak on tvcentertainment.tv and of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos, short videos of the kitchen, our exciting interviews and different things, and even full shows. You can get full shows online as well. and YouTube. Find us at TVC Entertainment.
Now we're gonna have a chef in the kitchen soon enough, and we know that the kitchen is always steamy right here on Wake Up Nigeria, and we're gonna have something tasty to taste. Or at least I will.
Yeah, very shortly we're going to be taking a trip in time, of course, to check out significant moments in history. There's Mike Tyson there.
Yeah, remember what he did? Remember what he did? Yeah, it was a harsh
look
one.
at that, you.
And of course, we also have Samson Olatunde, who is an admired digital entrepreneur and coach. He's going to be joining us to talk about the topic, are you competing or collaborating in this new normal? Very important question.
Now, of course, you, our viewers, are at home, but we love to interact with you. And of course, we're going to be hooking up with you on social media later on, asking you a few questions. Make sure you respond to us. And we'll probably take your tweets online as well.
Now, if you're a budding entrepreneur, Oluwatobi Ali has something for you, talking about top business skills for the post-COVID era. Those are some skills everybody needs right now.
And guess what? This is a favorite of many people. Toby Bakary is joining us today.
It's interesting how much he looks like such a good mechanic, though. He looks like a good, like, I'll give you my car to fix, you know, just saying.
When he destroys the car and brings it back for you, then you know.
Mechanics this period.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm saying.
Mechanics this period, man. In fact, my friend had to, he got into Florida and he was thinking, he saw this Florida and I had to go, you know, he just saw the Florida. I'm like, my car can take this, no weapon. You know? When he entered the Florida, I came out, the car sound changed.
It's horrible.
And then you know how to start it. Normally you just start it once to start, then you get like 2-3 times. By the time I was done with the car, you know, everybody he spoke to gave a different diagnosis. One said a starter sensor. This one, that one. Fuel here.
You know what? We have to go to the news update right now. And Ibrahim is standing by.
Welcome to the news. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 190 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 24,567. Lagos recorded the highest number of infections with 118 cases, followed by Delta with 84 and Eboyin 68. Abuja recorded 56 cases, Plateau 39, Edo 29, Katsina 21. Imo recorded 13, Ondo 12, Adamawa 11, Osun and Ogun 8 cases each. Rivers 6, Kano 5, Enugu, Bauchi and Akwa Ibom 3 cases each, while Kogi, Oyo and Bayelsa recorded 1 case each. So far, 9,007 people have recorded and have been discharged, while 565 persons have died from COVID-19 related complications. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases around the world has passed the 10 million milestone. That's according to Johns Hopkins University in the U.S. Half the cases recorded have been in the U.S. and Europe. The virus emerged in China late last year and spread across the globe and has led to more than 500,000 deaths. The U.S., the epicenter of COVID-19, has reported a total of 2.5 million cases and 125,000 deaths. 36 states in America are reporting a rise in cases as experts there say vaccine may not be enough to produce immunity to stop the outbreak. The Nigerian government has evacuated 317 more citizens stranded in the United Kingdom as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. The chairman Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Rewa, announced the arrival of the returnees, including 9 infants, on Sunday via the Commission's official Twitter handle. NIDCOM explained that the Air Peace flight conveying the Nigerians touched down at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja at about 9:50 p.m. 175 of the evacuees will disembark in Abuja, and the remaining 142 people will proceed to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. According to the agency, all the returnees tested negative to COVID-19 and will proceed on 14 days self-isolation as mandated by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the Federal Ministry of Health and the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. Meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari has come out to strongly support the viewpoint of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu or the need to save the governing All Progressives Congress from self-destruction. In a statement signed by the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President condemned what he calls political vulturism masquerading as smart analysis and selling the commentary that this is a Buhari-Tinubu showdown. The statement says nothing can be farther from the truth as Mr. President and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu are in touch with one another. Their relationship remains as strong as ever, and between the two of them, only they know how they manage their enviable relationship. It also added that to put the record straight in the formation of the APC and giving its leadership, President Buhari and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, who are reckoned as the founding fathers of the APC, are both inspired by democratic norms, national interest, and not at all by partisan motivations. These are the qualities that have made them move past cynical distractions. And also the federal government has summoned the Ghanaian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Evander, over the demolition of parts of the Nigerian High Commission in Ghana. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Nyema, made this known on Monday. The minister noted that Nigeria had asked the envoy to give an urgent explanation on the recent attacks on apartments in the country's High Commission in Accra. The plot of land in question houses the High Commissioner's residence and 4 other buildings. It was ceded to the Nigerian government in the 60s. Sometime in the year 2000, official correspondence was exchanged between Presidents Olusegun Obasanjo and Jerry Rawlings of Ghana, where the issue of ownership was resolved and the sum of 50 million Ghanaian cedis was paid. Building works began on a portion of the land after all approvals were sought and obtained from regulatory authorities. Both the Nigerian and Ghanaian governments had condemned the attack. The Ghanaian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration in a statement said unidentified individuals allegedly breached the premises of the Nigerian High Commission and demolished the property. And as the news update for this hour, we have sport next.
Welcome back. Now it's about time for us to take a trip down memory lane.
This week in history.
Yeah. And
I like it.
Starting with July 1st, 1905, Albert Einstein introduces his theory of special relativity. Now, on the 30th of June, 1905, the German physicist, the physics journal, Annalen de Physique, published a paper by a young patent clerk called Albert Einstein. The paper on electrodynamics of moving bodies set out Einstein's theory of special relativity, which explains the relationship between space and time and between energy and mass in the famous equation E equals mc squared. The paper used Planck's concept of energy quanta to describe how light travels through space. The theory of relativity became one of the 2 pillars of modern physics. His work is also known for its influence on the philosophy of science. He received the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his services to theoretical physics, and especially for his discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect, a pivotal step in development of quantum theory. So this is one of the most remarkable individuals to have ever lived in this century.
Yeah, so his brain was wired in a different way.
Yeah.
To be able to, yeah, so anyway, okay, so I like that diagram that we're seeing there. So energy equals mass, you know.
MC squared,
Yeah, so the whole idea is that in simple terms, you can create energy from mass.
Okay.
So mass and energy are the same thing, and they're interchangeable, something like that. So,
okay. All right.
Anyway,
One
theory
of the
of relativity.
most famous math equations ever. Like even if you weren't a science student, you probably would have heard of it before. Whenever we talk about Einstein, we don't really think about how big his brain must have had to be for him to equate some things. I don't know.
He was for people also credit him with the discovery of the atom bomb. at some point in his career. At least some of the theories that he propounded, the atom theories and all of that, was instrumental in the development of the first nuclear bomb that eventually was used in the Second World War. Anyway, so that's it with Albert Einstein. And on July 3rd, 1928, John Logie Baird demonstrates the first color television in London. Wow. The leading pioneer of the creation of television, John Logie Baird, was a Scotsman born in 1888, an electrical engineer and an eccentric genius. He produced something that was the embryo of today's television sets, a primitive apparatus that sat on a washstand in his attic and involved bicycle lamps, scanning discs cut out of cardboard, a biscuit tin, darning needles, and string. It transmitted an unsteady, flickering image of a Maltese crossover a distance of a few feet. Now, Baird moved to London, where in 1925 he managed to transmit the image of a human face, and in 1926 gave a demonstration to a fascinated audience of scientists. Now, Baird kept on trying to improve on his invention and then gave the first demonstration of a color television transmission on the 3rd of July in 1928. Wow.
Look, so because of him, we have TV.
Yeah, so it's amazing that it wasn't a lot of the inventions that we know of today, especially from those 100 years ago, 200 years ago. It was just from these guys trying, failing, trying, failing, and trying. So whether it's Isaac Newton you're talking about, whether it's Graham Bell who found the telephone, it was just from trying and trying and trying and trying.
You'd be so surprised. So Baird was actually a salesman. He used to sell soap and socks to survive. Yeah. Because the money for his inventions, it was so expensive to keep himself, funded to live for him, that he ended up selling socks and soap just to get by. And then later in his spare time, he would now try and invent things. He invented so many different things that were all failures until this one. I think there were like 6 other inventions that went wrong before he came up with this.
Amazing, amazing. And now we have TV sets. Eventually, by the 30s and the 40s, color television started picking up. And then by the 50s, of course, it became ubiquitous. Very nice.
Now we're still on the train. Now we're moving a little closer. 28th of June, 1997, Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear during their heavyweight title fight.
Had him for lunch.
Now, Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson II, infamously referred to as the bite fight of '97, was a professional boxing match for the WBA heavyweight championship. Now, it achieved notoriety as being one of the most bizarre fights in boxing history after Tyson bit off part of Holyfield's ear. At 32 seconds into the second round, Holyfield ducked under a right from Tyson. In doing so, he headbutted Tyson, opening a large cut over the latter's right eye. Tyson began the third round with a furious attack. Within 40 seconds remaining in the round, Holyfield got Tyson in a clinch, and Tyson rolled his head above Holyfield's shoulder and bit Holyfield on his right ear. The bite avulsed a 1-inch piece of cartilage from the top of the ear, and Tyson spat out the piece onto the ring floor as Holyfield shrieked in pain and jumped in circles. He managed to push Tyson away, at which point Lane called for a timeout. The ear
it's horrible. You know, his reason was that Evander was playing using underhanded tactics and playing dirty and all of that, even though the referee couldn't see it. So once they're back in the referee, he would give him
a headbutt. Yes.
So he did it once or twice. I was like, you what? Let me show you some.
Goodness me.
Horrible. It was a horrible experience. And then that ear came off.
Until now, when you see Evander Holyfield, you see that mark.
Yeah, so, we are here, and we're just about getting started. Chef Alex is here. Traffic, you know how it is on Monday morning in Lagos. But he's right here, and I love this. This milk is looking very, very, very... Milk and eggs. When you see milk and eggs, what comes to mind, Yomi? Titi, what comes to mind? Milk and eggs. When you see milk and eggs, tell me.
Yummy.
Tell me what comes to mind when you see milk and egg? What comes to your mind?
Straight up breakfast, man.
Breakfast. Okay, no, I mean, what kind of food comes to mind?
like a mixture.
Yes. What kind of food?
Pancakes maybe.
Pancakes. Oh, or crepes for the two shores. Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing with that? I'm saying milk and eggs. Yes, what are we doing?
Milk and egg. Very quickly, I'm just going to be making a very simple breakfast this morning that I call noodle ball.
Noodle ball.
Yeah. So I thought of this meal because I just felt that in our regular homes, I just wanted us to have a few dishes that we could create out of the regular things we have. So I said, okay, noodles. You have noodles. You steam your noodles and then you break them up and then you add a little bit of egg to bind them together. Okay. And then add your milk in there and then add a little bit of breadcrumbs and then just form them into little balls and then you deep fry them.
Ooh.
Yes. Just.
So what's this mortar for?
Yes, I'm just going to use this one to break up because this morning I also want to let us know that when you don't have your breadcrumbs, you can also make use of cornflakes. So I just want to use this.
So you just want for cornflakes?
Exactly.
So cross cornflakes.
Exactly.
Can you use this one to pound yam? I'm serious. Can you use this one? Like, let's say you want to do mini yam.
It's just so small. It's too small.
It's small.
Yes, it's small. And then it's going to.
The small drops of water make the maturation.
Will you take the pounded yam? Can you accept this size of pounded yam?
Titi, what do you think about this miniature mortar? Can you? There's a lot of things you can do with this thing.
I love the fact that it's marble, right? Is it marble or ivory?
Right.
Is it
marble?
Marble.
Yeah.
That's going to be there for life. You can hand that over to your children.
So imagine.
And your children's children. Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah. So Titi, imagine marble infused pounded yam, not the one from wood, The wood one can taste some, and you use this one now, it will be tasting janded. Marble infused pounded yam.
Really?
So can you use that to pound yam though?
Why not?
Seriously?
Why not?
It'll be too small.
It'll be too small, definitely.
It'll be too small.
What if you're pounding yam?
But it's solid.
What if you're pounding yam for Amber and Ruby? You might just be pounding yam for Amber and Ruby, eh? We'll still get this there. We'll still put it. What would we use this for?
That's not mine.
Eh?
That's not mine.
Okay, I still looking like a lantern.
Spices.
So there was this time when we were doing throwbacks and how we used to use lanterns at home, and our best and worst memories about lanterns. I don't know, I broke a number of glasses and all of that. Okay, so but like we said, for our menu for this, what are we using? We have cornflakes.
Cornflakes. We have our eggs.
We have our eggs.
We have our milk.
We have our milk.
We have the noodles.
We have the noodles.
And then we have vegetable oil to fry them.
Yes. Now you said something. You said if there is no cornflakes, we can use breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but
as a matter of fact, the original recipe called for breadcrumbs.
Okay,
yeah,
so
just substituting.
Substituting it. What other substitute can we use if we don't have breadcrumbs and we don't have cornflakes?
I don't have breadcrumbs, and then you can, if you have your bread.
Bukbo gari or something.
Bukbo gari. No, it's gonna soak. It's gonna soak.
What's the difference between Bukbo gari and cornflakes? They have their density can be close. So
exactly. Their retention to water is not the same. Their retention to liquid is not just.
Because see, we're all about options, man. Not everybody will have cornflakes or breadcrumbs.
But we have to. You don't have breadcrumbs, you have cornflakes.
No, you might not have. You might not have.
Okay, so you can buy bread. You can buy bread and then put it in the oven, let it dry, and then you crumble the bread as well. So that's still breadcrumbs.
Put it in the oven.
Yes, let it dry.
If you don't have an oven, you can still put it on top frying pan.
On the frying pan and let it dry.
Yeah, let it dry up and don't allow it to burn too much, and then you grind it up and all of that. Okay, but I love this egg and milk. It's going to be quite very cool. Okay, so we're here. When we get back, we're going to look at all we have. We're going to lay out everything and all that and get straight into it. It's not so hard to do. I mean, we've already explained almost everything, and it's wonderful, like you said, for a breakfast. But we'll take this short break now. There's still more to come.
Wow, it's time for some Monday motivation today. And we have Samson Olatunde joining us now. This guy is a digital entrepreneur. He's a speaker and a trainer and also a coach. He is the founder of Africa's, it's a digital community of professionals, digital co-tribe, a digital CEO tribe. Now, he's joining us this morning to talk about this topic. Are you competing or collaborating in this new normal? How you doing, Samson?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me here this morning.
Yeah, it's good to have you join us. I like this new concept or this topic that you're bringing up today. Are you competing or collaborating in this new normal? If we're entering a new normal where the world is changing, businesses are being turned on their heads, what are the things that entrepreneurs and even business owners should be thinking about? Should they be fighting for their own space, or should they be collaborating with others?
It is very important for us to understand that things has really changed. This pandemic has opened our eyes to different opportunities. And then if you're going to be relevant in the market space, then you need not to compete or to collaborate. Now, once you compete, what happens is that you drain your energy. And then when you collaborate, what happens is that you amplify what you're doing. So I usually tell people that in this digital space, one of the things entrepreneurs need to understand is how to collaborate. So just imagine that we don't have Amazon. Amazon has no stores, or a lot of collaborations are going on Amazon, for instance. Uber owns almost no cars, but there's a lot of collaboration between drivers and the owners of cars. Facebook creates no content, for instance, but many of us are using Facebook to do so many things for ourselves. Now think of Alibaba. Alibaba has no inventory, but many of us are doing transactions on their platform. Airbnb owns no real estate, for instance. And then look at the level of collaborations happening and people doing business and making money on platforms by Airbnb. So if you look at Netflix, I tell people that cinemas are going to be shut down very soon. TV channels are going to be tuned to Netflix, because Netflix has provided a value-added service. They have no TV channel, but there's a lot of collaborations going on. People are making money and have opportunity to have access to content on that platform. Bitcoin, for instance, has no physical coin, but in the international market is one of the currencies that we are using. So it's time for people to begin to think, act, speak, do collaboration as against competing in this part of the world.
Now, Samson, I like the direction this conversation is going, and I like the fact that you're saying you've talked about a number of global international organizations that are doing very big things through collaboration. But in Africa and in Nigeria as well, what you have is there's this digital gold rush. Everybody's trying to make a mark and make a little bit of money. So whether it's a business on Instagram, people coming up with new solutions in the finance sector and things like that. So it feels sometimes like if I haven't made my mark in the digital space, maybe I should try and make that mark first before collaborating, because there's still a lot of competition going on now. What would your advice, what would be your advice to African businesses, considering that we have unique challenges here? What would be your advice to them in the area of collaboration or competition?
I think the challenge we're basically having with lots of people doing business in this part of the world is not thinking far. I mean, I heard that storyline about how the color TV, the innovations and all of that. I think that many of us in business in Nigeria and in Africa are really thinking small. We can't see beyond building a business that will be a legacy that people can ride on. Many businesses have failed because of this aspect of, I want to own the market share, I want to compete and all of that as against collaboration. It's even happening in the banking sectors. I mean, everybody just have different cards and everybody is getting into the market space just because they want to buy. My advice is that we need to think global. We need to think collaboration. We need to see how we can harness things together. Let me give an instance, for instance. In the entertainment industry, I'm particular about the comedians. See the level of collaborations. When anybody is doing anything, see the level of collaboration. See how big the industry is today. We ever imagine that people are going to be making money in that industry the way it is? That's the level of collaboration, of seeing how I can support somebody to make it happen for that person, and then it goes in a viral effect. Now, for us in Africa, one of the things we need to start thinking about, and I think there's a level of knowledge gap. Many people don't understand how businesses are done globally, especially in this part of the world. It's just that everybody's competing to say, I want to make a landmark. Now, if you're going to make a landmark and you're going to be great in the industry, then you have to think of exponential growth. It is the aspect of the collaboration. But if you want to think in a way of arithmetic growth, then you have to keep struggling and want to do it alone. Just imagine you having good brains together. You could imagine the kind of inventions that you can have available for many people to leverage on, just the way we have all of these global platforms I've mentioned. For instance, we're really trying. We have the Jumia, we have the Konga, really doing a lot of collaboration. But how can we scale up? We have Cars 45, looking at a way of people can have access, car dealers, people that want to sell their cars. Now, these are platforms that are really helping people. But I think we can do much more than we are doing currently.
Now, I want you to talk to us about, so you talked about the new normal, which is, you know, a post-COVID world where things have changed and some certain kind of industries are being revolutionized. I want you to make a prediction. So if people are predicting that a lot of businesses will fail, many people will shut down, when you're talking about collaboration, are you also saying businesses should consider mergers, consolidation of certain industries, coming together and forming maybe one entity that is bigger and that can last longer? You just mentioned Jumia and Konga, for instance. Neither of them is making profit. It's been many years. They haven't made any profit. They're just sinking billions of naira. What would you say, collaboration or merger?
Me, I would say merger, because if they merge, that means they have a lot of resources they can put together. And that means that in terms of hosting, their budgeting, reaching out to more people, everybody's attention will be tuned towards a particular platform. So what has happened is that everybody, I mean, those two organizations you're talking about, they're really competing. And in the essence of them competing, they've not made that mark or made the profit they are expecting. And up to now, they're still trying to struggle around that space. Now just imagine them coming together. Imagine the logistics, imagine the human capital, imagine all of those resources coming together, and imagine how they will get attentions from people who want to do business with them.
But why wouldn't they do it, though? Why do you think they wouldn't do it? Because competition, they're both competitors, not making profits. Why don't just come together?
Like I said, I just feel it's the mindset kind of thing that we have in Nigeria. We only want to own it to ourselves, not thinking of having it to go global. It's a mindset problem, and it's one of the things we have to really deal with. I mean, look at the banking sector also. It's a really problematic for us, because as of today, we can have a very good payment system that can be acceptable globally. I mean, Paystack came suddenly and took everybody on our way. Look at what Paystack is doing now. This is what our banks should have done years back. As of today, we can't use PayPal in Nigeria. This is what we are expecting, that the banking sector come together and make happen for some of us that are doing business globally. So it's really a problem for me, and it's a problem for so many people out there, because they can't think, how can we come together, merge, collaborate, and make things happen? I've given you a lot of examples in the financial sector. And so these are really problems, and I think it's a mindset kind of problem for us in Nigeria and Africa.
Wow, thank you so much, Samson Olatunde, for pointing out at least some direction for us in this area. You know, being an entrepreneur is really tough, and you know, people don't want to give up their legacy or their personal business. But thank you for your advice, and I hope that there are one or two people who are taking some of this advice and considering collaborating this period. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
All right, let's head on back to the kitchen where Mike is putting together some fancy breakfast for us with his... All I saw was eggs and milk. I don't know what else you guys have there.
That's all you need. The eggs and the milk is all you need, okay? All right, but then now we got our noodles here. We got our cornflakes finally out there. If you don't have cornflakes, you can use breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs, Pokpo Gari can come to the rescue. And then we have our seasoning. This is seasoning for the noodles. Yes, for the noodles. Yes, but if you want to give yourself a quiet taste, there are other seasonings that you can use, right?
Black pepper, yes, black pepper, rosemary.
You know, this is Lagos. The pepper is not part of it. You have not cooked.
Yes.
You have not cooked. Yes. Okay, so let's get straight to it. So we're mashing the.
Okay, yes. I'm just gonna crumb this up. Okay, first of all, before I go into this, I would like to steam up the noodles.
Okay, all right,
first.
All right.
So just pick this up that way.
You still put okay, yeah, breaking it. How many breaking into?
Like 4, so that so that when you're bringing them together like ball, it's not going to be too difficult for you.
So there's a time when I used to do noodles, I'll crunch everything, like everything.
Yeah,
I don't know. I crunch everything. So I'll tell you what, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you've ever, your experience with noodles, do you crunch everything? For me, I like, you know, let it get down, all that. But some people just put it whole and all of that. So I don't know which one.
Here I have my cornflakes.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna crumble it.
I like the way it sounds.
Yes, really crunchy. Just gonna crumble this up.
Okay. So what texture are you looking for? What level of?
Yes, just as powdery as
possible.
Get. Yeah, as powdery as possible.
And then you say you cannot now use Popo Gary. Seriously?
Yeah, so
you can't use it.
So this.
Okay. So this is.
So that is just fine for me. That actually is fine. Yes, it's just okay. So just
AKA,
continue.
you can also use Golden Morn. You don't want to blame. You don't want to break it up too much. And all of that. Okay.
Right, so I would like to say this as well, that quite a lot of Nigerians, we have a whole number of ingredients on our shelves in the kitchen.
Okay.
And we just feel that, I mean, these are ingredients that we consume every day.
Okay.
So we just feel that there are no better ways that we can consume them.
We can use them,
yeah, exactly. But then there are, 1,001 ways, 101 ways.
That we can
Exactly, that we can use them.
Okay.
So, yeah, so if you've been consuming your noodles every day by just, boiling it, whatever. So this for me is a different way.
That you can use your noodles,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I know some people are going to try this out. You can even try it out today. I don't know if I'm not sure yet. But at least now this is me. Well, this is us trying it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. So this thing is fast too. I'll recommend this thing for pounding it. Like the way it's doing, it's like it's fast.
It's fast, right?
Mini this thing is fast.
Right.
Okay.
The last batch.
All right. So while all of this is going on, our milk is getting ready. We have all the ingredients set. Our eggs, of course, are getting ready. And yeah, just look at this. The noodles is getting cooked, getting boiled. We'll all get this out. But the second lap is done. We just have to take this time out. When we get back, we hope you can see a little bit more of the process, or you'll see the final thing, and we'll let you know how we actually got to the end of all of that. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Yeah.
Nigeria remains the right place for great television, the great television experience you need. And of course, the last 2 hours on the show have been quite eventful. Trust me, you do not want to miss the next 45. It's going to be equally as engaging and much more.
Yes, indeed. We have more amazing things ahead for you. Ahead
of
on
you?
the show.
Ahead for you. Ahead. Yeah.
English. We have more amazing things for you on the show. Ahead. For you. So whichever one, make sure you stick around for the next 45 minutes or so. My name is Yomi Obe.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. It's our pleasure to stream this show live on tvcentertainment.tv and of course Facebook at TVC Connect. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment. On YouTube, all our videos are right there for you to just go, click and watch. If you haven't joined us on social media yet, you can also do that. Now let's find out what your plans are for the rest of the week. We would love to interact with you.
Yes, indeed. Now, finally, we're going to be joined by Oluwatobi Ali today. He's going to be talking to us about top skills. Top skills. There are certain things that during this post-COVID period, if you know them, then you can make some good money during this era.
Yes, indeed. Very, very important. Yes. So.
Yeah. Toby also.
Yeah. Yes. Toby Bakri.
Okay.
We're supposed to have Toby Bakri on the show, and hopefully we can might still be able to link up with him. Otherwise, we'll just push it to Friday where we can, sit down and ask him proper questions for like a whole hour.
So one other big thing was Beyonce. She picked up a humanitarian award. And this was the cool thing about Beyonce picking up that award. Beyonce is someone that will not make a noise about what she's doing. And so people are surprised, Beyonce picking up a humanitarian. We have people that will do stuff and they will not make noise about it. Not everybody has to come out, give somebody something and hold the camera. You know that thing when people talk about it, that, hey, when you want to do something, you don't always have to hold the camera. You don't always have to show that you're trying to do. But look, I don't have any problem with people who hold cameras. Look, whichever way you are doing something.
Yes. Yeah.
The person holds the camera, the person doesn't hold the camera, the person is doing something. But then, but what we're saying is that there are people that do and you don't get to see the grammar and all of that.
So either way, I love it. It's really good. When I saw the God's Plan video with Drake, you know, people were complaining, oh, why is he putting it out there?
Yeah.
But did you see the look on the faces of the people he was helping?
Yeah,
The look of just pure joy, you know, of the families that were struggling and all of that. So I just thought, you know, it's worth it. Yeah, at the end of the day, as long as you're helping, whether it's on camera or off camera.
I remember, I think it was The Rock who got into a shop, it was an Apple shop, and just pay for everybody that was buying something also.
Wow.
Imagine you're going to buy a MacBook. Imagine I'm just going now, MacBook,
you just change.
No. Maybe you wanted to buy charger before. And you have changed your mind.
I said, well, I want MacBook Sky. The one that's higher than air. I want MacBook Sky. And all that. And there was this meme that was also trending. Like Bill Gates says, take my card, buy a pen for me and buy anything for yourself. And the person goes to buy a Maybach.
I don't know. I've always thought about it. So sometimes I actually think about what I would do if I had a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Like, how would I divide it? Like, will charity even come to my mind? Will my tithe come to my mind? What will come to my mind?
There are just certain things. I don't know how the world works, but you know, have you ever wondered? You got a bit of money, maybe you got 500K or something like that. Then suddenly you're getting calls. It's as if God just reminded some people that Mike has money. Call him. And suddenly you're getting calls. People are texting you. You're wondering. So sometimes it's naturally you just draw.
Expenses or something.
Expenses, and also maybe God channels funds to you so you can help one or two people. Not everybody.
Yeah.
You can't help everybody. That's the truth. Otherwise, you yourself will go broke. So also need to be careful.
Honestly, that thing you said is really, sometimes it's just divine that this money comes in at this time when this bill is just about to land, and then especially unexpected things. And it can be very overwhelming, but you're always thankful that at the end of the month, you wonder, wait, was it actually my salary that brought me through last month? And you realize it wasn't
likely.
It wasn't. But at this point, it's about time for us to take the news update, and Ibrahim is standing by.
Right, thank you, Titi. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 490 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 24,567. Lagos recorded the highest number of infections with 118 cases, followed by Delta with 84 and Eboin 68. Abuja recorded 56 cases, Plateau 39, Edo 29, Katsina 21, Imo 13, Ondo 12, Adamawa 11, Osun and Ogun 8 cases each, Rivers 6, Kano 5, Enugu, Bauchi and Akwa Ibom 3 cases each, while Kogi and Oyo Bayelsa recorded 1 case each. So far, 9,007 people have recovered and been discharged, while 565 persons have died from COVID-19 related complications. Now, the number of confirmed coronavirus cases around the world has passed the 10 million milestone. That's according to Johns Hopkins University in the U.S. Half of the cases recorded have been in the U.S. and Europe. The virus emerged in China late last year and spread across the globe and has led to more than 500,000 deaths. The U.S., the epicenter of COVID-19, has reported a total of 2.5 million cases and 125,000 deaths. 36 states in America are reporting a rise in cases, as experts there say vaccine may not be enough to produce immunity to stop the outbreak. There are increased concerns on the safety of Nigerians, high commissions and embassies around the world following the recent incident in Ghana and Indonesia. The recent attacks on Nigeria's High Commission in Accra, Ghana, and its embassy in Jakarta, Indonesia, depict there are lapses in the security structure of Nigeria's missions abroad. In the past, Nigeria's High Commission in London was attacked by angry Nigerians. The same has happened in Senegal, Congo, and a host of other countries, though these acts have always been condemned. Citizens say Nigeria must take responsibility for fortifying its missions abroad. And the Nigerian government has evacuated 317 more citizens stranded in the United Kingdom as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. The chairman, Nigeria's in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erowa, announced the arrival of the returnees, including 9 infants, on Sunday via the Commission's official Twitter handle. NETCOM explained that the Air Peace flight conveying the Nigerians touched down at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja at about 9:50 p.m. 175 of the evacuees will disembark in Abuja, and the remaining 142 people will proceed to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. According to the agency, all the returnees tested negative to COVID-19 and will proceed on 14 days self-isolation as mandated by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the Federal Ministry of Health, and the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. Meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari has come out to strongly support the viewpoint of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu on the need to save the governing All Progressives Congress from self-destruction. In a statement signed by the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President condemned that what he calls political vulturism masquerading as smart analysis and selling the commentary that this is Buhari-Tinubu showdown. The statement says nothing can be farther from the truth as Mr. President and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu are in touch with one another. Their relationship remains as strong as ever, and between the two of them, only they know how they manage their enviable relationship. It also added that to put the record straight, in the formation of the APC and giving it leadership, President Muhammad Buhari and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who are reckoned as the founding fathers of the APC, are both inspired by democratic norms, national interest, and not at all the partisan motivations. These are the qualities that have made them move past cynical distractions. And that's news at this time on Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you
back.
for staying with us. Yep. So I'm quite excited about this part because I was checking out trends. There are quite a lot more trends on Twitter for us to talk about. But this one really is quite interesting for a Monday morning. And I don't know if it's the originator of this, but at Dub Quoted said, hit movie for hit movie, who's the better actor? And the two actors he put up are mad.
Solid.
They will enough. This is reason for conversation. I don't want to say arguments, conversation, because we love them. Will Smith versus Denzel Washington. Who is the better actor? Hit movie for hit movie, yeah? So we can see there. Just let's check out our social media feed there. And this guy's man.
Denzel versus Will Smith.
So
that is a hard one. It's not that easy.
It's a hard one.
Okay.
It's I don't know, but you know one thing about Will Smith is that for me, he's been making people laugh, entertaining people since he was literally 17, 18 years old.
Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince is a classic.
It's a classic,
Till today, you're still laughing at those old jokes.
Okay, so you know what happened? Just before we go on, this is our panelist. I want you to go on social media. Use the hashtag WakeUpNiger on TVC. Denzel versus Will Smith. Yomi, of course, says he wants to go for Denzel. Titi, as she has already stated. I'm
going to echo somebody's sentiment online right now. The guy says, don't disrespect Denzel. Somebody else said, Denzel acted Malcolm X better than Malcolm X himself.
Yeah, but the thing is, can Denzel switch from comedy to drama back to comedy?
Yeah, we've not seen Denzel
drama. I've not seen him do that.
like that.
I've not seen him do drag. I've not seen him. I've not seen him.
You've seen Gangs of New York. Is it Gangs of New York?
I think so. Yeah.
There's the is it American Gang? What's the one?
American Gangster.
American Gangster.
Yeah.
American Gangster. Pardon me.
American Gangster Training Day.
Training Day was.
And speaking of comedy, he did The Preacher's Wife.
He did Preacher's Wife. Okay, Preacher's Wife is a comedy. Wasn't that comedy, right?
It's just that it wasn't tragic. But I beg,
okay, but
give me Will Smith any day. Put Will Smith on an entire set by himself for the whole movie.
And he'll make it happen.
And he made it happen.
He did it in I Am Legend. He has done it in.
Now.
Okay, so don't leave me. Titi just. Since Titi has one up on Yomi, you have to give me a good argument now.
Denzel did the film where he was also alone, where he was carrying a Bible from one location to the other.
Okay, Book of Eli.
The Book of Eli.
Okay, but how do other people in the Book of Eli? Okay, 1-1. Too much is now.
Wait first.
Okay, so Titi.
I don't think you can drag this.
Okay, so
Denzel has 2 Oscars. So let's just end this. Let's just end it right now.
Will Smith has 4 Golden Globes and has been nominated for a few Oscars. So,
okay, so you know what now? Will Smith, let me give one to you. Will Smith is the most profitable black actor in Hollywood.
Yes.
By box office numbers. He has been in the biggest hits ever.
Thank you.
I mean, when you look at...
for backing me up there.
I remember iRobot. Remember iRobot?
Yeah.
That movie was way ahead of its time.
So if I breaking it down, normally I would have wanted to go for Denzel, but if I start breaking it down, I mean, those two guys there, and then you spoke about Malcolm X and all that. You know, it made me remember. Yeah,
I was going to say,
okay.
Will Smith was just so good. He's so good that he could bring his kids in to the movie industry and make them all stars. I don't know where Denzel's kids are.
Have you seen a film called Black Klansman?
Please.
That guy got an Oscar nomination. He's Denzel's son, and that guy has never piggybacked on Denzel's fame to be famous.
Very true. For Titi not to even remember, I didn't remember.
Will Smith's kids piggyback on Will Smith to be popular, which is not a bad thing.
You are vexing to the
which is not a bad thing.
No. Let's go for wives now.
Wives?
Let's go for wives now.
Really?
Yes, I'm going for wives now. Look at Jada.
We're talking about their acting prowess.
You want to go for wives?
Yes,
Denzel has had the same wife for more than 40 years.
Yeah.
So let's just end this conversation.
So how many wives has Will Smith had?
Don't leave
it.
Jada has been with him for what, 16 years?
But she's still there.
They're still young. They're still coming up.
Really?
They're still coming up.
Really? Are you joking?
You can't let Yomi get up. Yomi is like 3-2 now.
There's no comparison.
So for me, through the ages, Will Smith hasn't aged.
Yeah.
Denzel's face don't default. I beg, look.
You can't say that.
Don't get
this one you just did.
You can't say that.
This one you just did. Your 2 points is now 1.5.
In terms of fine boy status.
Listen, Denzel is sugar Zaddy.
Really? I beg you, which one is Zaddy there?
If Denzel should come here, you will be
nice skin. Nice fresh skin.
Where Denzel is, Will Smith is, you know what they call junior brother. The junior is still coming up.
Is it an issue of who started first, or age, about acting prowess?
I actually think they both dabbled into the industry really well.
Okay.
But at this point, in terms of business sense, I think Will Smith always had it.
If it's the business of movies,
everything.
Okay.
If it's the business of movies, there's something called the business of movies. Will Smith obviously has an upper hand. If it's acting though, Denzel, like I've seen 2 or 3 directors that said when Denzel is on the set, everybody just lets it, that he has something called on-screen presence, and on-screen confidence. When he steps in, everybody just chills and lets him do his thing.
I'm telling
you. He just has his thing, and it's just Denzel. So you just let Denzel
his
do
lines, improvise.
Exactly.
Another person like this is Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp gets on set, or when he screenwriter and scriptwriter, they drop their team. Let this guy just talk what he wants to talk.
Don't bother.
Just let him be.
And then Al
But
Pacino
one
as
thing
well.
you can say about both of them is that they can cry on cue, like this. You just see tears dropping. Boom. All right. Anyhow, I'm just saying, when it comes to crying on cue, like,
anyways, we'll put
look at Pursuit of Happiness for Will Smith. That one, the tears just came out. I don't know where
they
the
could have
tears.
put onions in the back.
I beg.
You could have done onions or used abuniki or something. So, but then, let's know what you think about them. Who won? Your meeting today went up.
Both guys are awesome. You know,
we have to get your quotes on social media as well.
Exactly.
So use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on
TVC. Exactly.
We have to go to the kitchen now. The chef has been frying something sweet.
Yep.
And you know, there are so many great things that can happen on a weekday. And one of the greatest things happening this Monday is it's Mike's birthday today.
Yes, indeed.
Happy birthday, Mr. Mexicano.
Is it?
Yes.
Mike
Mexicano. It's his birthday. You didn't know.
Yeah, so hashtag Mike Mexicano, hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Yeah. So you know we have to sing the song for you. You know we are going to sing the song.
You want to sing? I wanted to give my vote of thanks.
Which was happy birthday to you.
I want to give my vote of thanks.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike.
I'm just smiling.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you to all my fans.
We're doing something quite different.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
See that girl, I was sweet, dancing queen.
Hey, this is Casey from Abuja saying happy birthday, Mike.
It's that day of June again. Happy birthday, Mike. My brother, my friend, 25 to 27 years, bro. How many years is it? No, almost 30 years now, man. Don't think.
This is wishing you a super duper birthday. I just want to tell you I love you so much from the depth of my heart. God bless all you do. Your hands are blessed. The skies cannot limit you.
All round blessings upon your life. And I know that God has brought you thus far. He is taking you to a place of your recognition and fame.
I cannot wait for this lockdown to be over so we can get back to seeing movies, go to the movies, you know. We'll go to eat boiled eggs and fried eggs in one plate like you like it. We'll gist and talk and everything. Thanks for being a great friend.
Happy birthday, Mike Mexicano. I really hope you have a fabulous year this year.
Hey Mike, I'm wishing you a very, very happy birthday. Since I met you, you've been such a great friend, a great brother, even though you frustrate my life.
Yeah, what up, Mike? What's happening? What's up? Yes, happy birthday, Mike. Yes, today happens to be your birthday. I wish you blessings upon blessings upon blessings and every beautiful thing you wish yourself.
This is wishing Mike Mexicano, the thoroughbred, a happy, happy birthday.
You know we love you here at Wake Up Nigeria. This is your TV mommy, coming to you live from my desk. Wishing you happy birthday. Wear the small chops hat.
And yes, because today's your birthday, we have to turn up.
Yo, today we turn up.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Everybody was like doing like they didn't remember. Happy
it,
birthday,
yeah.
Mike. That's a bouquet of flowers from all of us in form of cupcake. Happy birthday, Mike. Yeah, say something. Say something. What?
Thank you, guys.
Oh, he's getting emotional.
Yeah, that's how it is.
For COVID, before hug you. But really, happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah,
oh,
and lots of blessings to you. I know that the past couple of weeks, you know, we had some discussions and or a few things that you weren't happy about, personal stuff, not not work stuff. But we still have 6 months left in the year.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be great for you. So
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. God bless you. God keep you many more great years and keep growing in strength and growing in Jesus' joy. It's all about you, Mike. Today, we turn up. Let's go.
Thank you.
So, Mike, you need to taste what our chef prepared. We haven't forgotten you, chef. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, so I wanted to see this marble thing that you guys are talking about.
Please,
wow.
have a taste, Mike. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's like it is very heavy, but very good. So what do you think, Mike?
Makes sense. We prepared this. We did this together, so.
Well, it makes sense.
We did.
Mike is gone.
Yeah, he's still a little bit
processing.
He's in that moment.
Don't worry, we got you. We got you, Mike.
We got you, man.
All right. So we are going to be back here again tomorrow morning from 6 a.m., people.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget, it's Wake Up Nigeria. And, well, so make sure you send those birthday messages to Mike. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC so that we can see it and probably retweet some of your birthday shout-outs to us as well.
Okay,
Take care. See you tomorrow.
Bye.